Before a man turns the key in his own front door, there is often a quiet, invisible ritual. The heavy posture of a long day is straightened, a deep breath is taken, and a gentle, practiced smile is placed firmly onto his face, just before he finally crosses the threshold. Why does he instinctively hide his exhaustion the moment he sees his family? This performative happiness serves a specific purpose, concealing a profound fatigue behind a cheerful mask. Society maintains a strict, unforgiving standard for male emotion. To show the full extent of the strain risks a label of incompetence. To shed a tear over the pressure is to be categorized as weak. Over time, that conditioning takes root. The relentless daily grind of securing a living, paying the bills, and keeping the household afloat becomes a completely silent struggle, one he absorbs entirely on his own. When a man tells his family, "I am fine," he is using a protective shield. The phrase is a mechanism to spare his loved ones from the anxiety and suppressed emotion churning just beneath the surface. A subtle psychological pivot occurs as a man leaves youth behind and steps into the role of a provider. In our early years, the mind's default setting points inward. I want this or I need that. But as responsibilities mount, that internal compass inverts. The daily calculus shifts toward a constant scan of the perimeter. Does everyone else have what they need? This rewiring happens quietly, often without him even noticing. Consequently, his own personal preferences are placed on an indefinite pause to accommodate the needs of others. The 100 rupee dilemma illustrates this mindset. In this budget breakdown, almost every unit is immediately locked into housing, food, and dependent care. When a man has just a tiny fraction of resources left for himself, he weighs his own small desire against the household's needs and second-guesses himself 1,000 times. He almost always returns it to the family pool. This relentless frugality is a selfless obsession, a drive to ensure his family never experiences the friction of a financial lack. Because of this obsession, the internal landscape of a provider remains hidden. Beneath the predictable routine of commuting and working lies a massive, quiet accumulation of unfulfilled personal aspirations. These passions are still present, but they are intentionally buried under the heavy weight of duty. The spark remains, even without the oxygen to burn. Maintaining that duty requires enduring a harsh reality outside the home. The professional world brings casual humiliations, sudden unexpected failures, and a grinding pressure that demands constant performance. Yet, the moment his hand touches the doorknob at the end of the day, he swallows that external abuse. He acts as a shock absorber, stopping the turbulence of the world so his home remains a sanctuary. He meticulously hides the depth of this exhaustion. In fact, society typically only recognizes the scale of a man's struggle in the rare moments when the weight finally causes him to collapse. Beyond the exhaustion lies a display of agency. This is a man making an active, deliberate choice. In his mind, the burial of his own personal dreams is an acceptable trade. If the sacrifice preserves the trust and happiness in his family's eyes, it is a price he is willing to pay. This visualizes the daily reality of labor. A figure supporting an impossibly large structure represents the provider sustaining those who rely on him, keeping their world stable against the external chaos. He stands on the brink of his own defeat to guarantee that the people behind him experience victory. As the saying goes in Kannada, "Navellaru pratidina horarutteve." We all fight to smile easy every day. When a man says, "I'm fine," recognize the weight behind the words. That short sentence is a hard-won victory of the will.